Let me turn up some of my music right quick. Is that me? Precious mother, in a house in a comfortable luxurious place. My bills are paid and my debts are paid in full. I enjoy and prosper from the unity of my good friend. Till death do we part, partner, and he's a loyal lover friend. He's a fan of all I can do. I perform wellness events around the world. I perform wellness events around the world, around the world, around the globe, around the world. Each month, 4 days steady. All right now, One Love and Wellness family. Thank you for joining me. Heart Happy Hour. Love plus art equals wellness. And I am Precious Mother Love. Welcome to Heart Happy Hour Season 8. Season 8! Season 8 started when I got back from Stone Mountain. That whole episode, that was a movie. But in addition to it being a movie, I took a sabbatical. I took full advantage of the opportunity that was being presented to me, and the window was there. Let me clean this off. See if I touched the wrong button again. Here we go. And the window was wide open, so I took it. I mean, it was not planned in advance, but it was beautiful. The result was these beautiful stones that I now have, that I am making jewelry of. Some beautiful stones. I think I got some volcanic lava too, because it's or something like that, because it has taken form of like slow sludge drying, and I don't think it's fossilized dung. But anyway, One Love and Wellness family, thank you for joining me today. I have a couple things to talk about. Something that was downloaded today in my sun gazing was in reference to turtleneck. But when I realized what a turtleneck shirt was emulating, because I never thought about a turtle's neck. I never thought about that. The neck of the turtle probably looked the same way. You know, when his head come out, he got all this like right here. I never thought about that. But I mean, I fell out laughing. I'm today years old when I found out that turtleneck shirts were emulating a freaking real turtle's neck. How in the dickens did I not think of that? But anyway, so that got me to thinking about what other turtlenecks I haven't thought about. And found out this, because what came to mind was turtleneck syndrome. So turtleneck syndrome is when, you know, you're using your device at an angle that's causing your neck to come out, and you know, your neck actually is getting longer, but in a downward position where you're actually, you know, I guess looking down, you know, so you're out and down, and then it messes up your posture. And you know, it's so as a syndrome, it's as a result of too much use of your device in the improper posture. To reverse that, you just have to pay attention. You have to sit up. You have to hold your shoulders back, because one of the things is your shoulders will slouch, and you be, you know, looking like you're older than you actually are, or walking around looking like a turtle with your neck stretched out, but in a downward way instead of up, you know, walking tall, like you're proud of yourself, like in a posture of when you're happy and proud. You know, I feel that change. I felt that change come about today after I looked up this information. Oh, who'd I say something? Hardik Jadav. Nice goggles. Oh yeah, you know what? I just got a compliment on my goggles, right? This, I just met somebody. Ain't that's a blip? But I just talked about it to the ethers. I was like, you know, I'm ready to meet somebody. I think I might have met somebody. So anyway, they complimented my goggles too. So you brought back that beautiful memory to say that, hey, I'm doing something right. And he's like, I love your energy. Da 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 da. I'm like, But anyway, so yes, One Love and Wellness. This turtleneck thing is a thing. The turtleneck syndrome, right? So let me tell you what else I thought about. What I thought about the turtleneck here, and clothing, and then with this syndrome that has come about, and then who's this? Andre Gaming. Hi there. Said hi. Hi there, Andre. Andre. I'm not sure how the EI goes. And then what's good, Magoo? I'm weird. Hey, we all in some kind of way. I'll accept that. I resemble that remark. But the turtleneck, you might not want to hear this, where I say don't snip the tip. I'm talking about, why are we still circumcising people that are not, of one of the cultures or faiths that does this? Why do we alter our babies' bodies without their consent and with no medical basis? So why are we, even continuing something that was, that was an Abrahamic sort of thing, to mark the chosen ones or something. But back then, that was then. This is now, folks aren't really into the cultures. I mean, there's still cultures around the world, international groups hold this as a rites of passage sort of thing, but as an adult, so you're consenting to it, you know what you're doing. This is something you're doing for a reason, if you decide it later, you could do it, for whatever your specific reasons are. And say, where are you from? Where I'm from the nation's capital, born and raised. Right now, I'm on the back roads of some very lovely lands. But I really have a couple things to say that I don't know if you want to hear it. You may not have ears to hear, you may not want to hear, but in reference to snipping the tip, circumcision, the thing that got me into this last year, because this is something that got under, what do you call it? Stuck in my craw. I started thinking about this, or it was downloaded to begin the process of thinking about this last year, this time. And so when I look at what I've gained as far as new knowledge since then, and this is not me looking forward, but the knowledge coming to me, and then once the knowledge came to me to pique my interest, I did delve into it a little last year and then a little more this year. And so what I'm finding is, there are spiritual, physical, mental, and I don't know if you want to say whatever other kinds of, societal impact, not outlawing, but, someone being an outcast, from our norm if you're not circumcised, because there's this fallacy that goes around that says, hygienically, blah, blah, blah. That's an encouragement. So I think there was like a Rockefeller. There was a Rockefeller that was pushing it at some point. There was a Kellogg, yes, the cereal man, that was pushing it at some point. And there was, first off, medical wise, the across the pond, they were like not wanting to push it as hard as the US pushed it. But what I came up with last year, what the main comment from me last year was related to that it's spiritual real estate. So I'm going to stick with that, but I'm going to add a little more to that, because not only is it spiritual real estate, it has been used in makeups, and it's a part of what they've been using for the fountain of youth kinds of things, serums and so on. It is a pretty wide market. The doctor, what is the skin person called? Epidermis. The doctor that deals with Oprah skin, I don't know the word. He uses what they call not some kind of facial. What is it called? It's another F. Man. Anyway, so it's using the skin because it has some sort of uroblast, microblast, some sort of blast, some sort of glandular secretion that because it, okay, so I talked about turtleneck, right? So one of the things that happens when you're not circumcised is that that piece of skin, allows the coming up and down, like it grips at the mouth, and then there's the innards that come out, and so the part that stretches and that comes down to around the base, that has that skin, the foreskin, there it is, foreskin facial, that's what it's called. The foreskin has some sort of glands and glandular secretions that renew or keep the skin youthful and succulent, and it has its own moisturizing elements so that it can stay pliable and can be continue to do what it does without long-term damage as far as dry skin and so on. Brazil says hi. Elias Gardino Chavez, or hi there, one love and wellness. And then everyone else, yeah, where am I from? I'm from DC. I think I said that a minute ago. Okay, so yeah, so there's a secretion in that skin. Okay, so that skin, when I said that it was of spiritual value, it also is a financial value or a economic value or some sort of, it has a high price tag when you get those foreskin facials. Kim Kardashian is another one that said she gets them or was getting them, whatever the case is. Apparently it keeps your skin supple. I bet. Could be, I think the starting price, on the cheap end was like 500 and up to $5,000, depending on where you get it, who you get it from, and so on and so on. So, but that when I spoke about it last year, I referred to the fact that because I felt it was a spiritual real estate, because for that skin not only be a part of the process of the rising, like what happens in sunrise, for you to become erect, not me, but for men to become erect, that skin, there's like a certain amount of, I'm not gonna say foreplay, but forethought that will have to be in some way gauged as far as how quickly someone would be ready to engage. So that gives you time to think about and gather yourself and make sure this is what you really want to do. Now, second thing is, and not only is it something you really want to do, but in addition, is this somebody you really want to be with? Because for me, in my mind, if that foreskin, because the hygienic thing is a fallacy. Both men and women in that case would have a similar hygienic process or a similar hygienic concern. So if I'm concerned, why can't you be concerned? You ain't got to be concerned about me. Be concerned about you. I'll be concerned about me. I'll take care of myself. You take care of yourself. And I think it would make you not want to, be as much of a frequent flyer on all kinds of decks. I mean, chicks. it would make you not want to be as exposed as you would be if you were a frequent flyer. So that's the whole thing. It would be make you think a little bit more about who you want to be with, make you be a little more concerned about their hygiene. Yeah, I said don't worry about me. But yeah, if our flora fauna is not of a pleasant or a pleasing fragrance, if I eat a bunch of fruit, which basically a fruitarian, if I eat mostly fruits and vegetables, which on the backside, on my number twos don't smell like a meat eaters, don't smell like somebody who eats a whole bunch of processed food. I don't mean it, I'm not saying my shit don't stink. I'm not saying that it don't. I'm just saying it don't smell nowhere near the same. So therefore, the things that are coming from my body and the way I take care of my body's flora fauna will not be, I'm concerned about how I carry myself, and I believe that this would make you as concerned about how your body carries, how you carry your body a little bit more, than what without. If you got the tip snipped, you are you had a birth trauma. You had a trauma at birth. They snipped the tip, and you had a unconsented abuse to occur, and it's most times only because someone else, like their father did it, and their father did it, and their father, and so on and so on. That's that epigenetic thing that I said that I was talking about when the gorillas or monkeys or whatever, the monkey mind. That's something, in my mind, you're only doing it because of not history, not habit. What's the other word? Tradition. Out of tradition. And it's a lot of things that have been traditionally done that's changing now. So let's change that part. Let's let fellas be more in touch with themselves. Because they're more. It's been, I don't want to say scientifically proven, but research shows that folks, it's okay. First off, it's more pleasing for couples because the foreskin is doing some work. It serves a purpose. And let me let these people go. They're flying. It serves a purpose, and so it was somewhat of a punishment for some things that were done. It was somewhat of a mark of, I don't know. I was going to say the mark of the beast. When you put blood over the door, and it's also used in blood sacrifices in some secret societies, on an adult. Oh God, I hope my mouth didn't look, how I felt. If I, that's how I felt just now. I felt like, ugh, don't do that, but as an adult, that's a lot of pain, but as an adult, you get anesthesia too. As a baby, you don't get anesthesia. And that's a deep trauma, a deep-seated trauma. And a lot of big wigs and, big ball players in various realms were, fixing it so that, these kinds of shocks to the youth, the infant's system would be hard to, isn't that funny? These things keep going off on me. It would be hard to overcome without the proper soothing. It's traumatizing. And so in my mind, we're causing some traumas in our infants by continuing to do this. And I'm being serious, and I'm being, mild-mannered about it, because I am very concerned that some of what's going on with the emotional maturity of our... Okay, this guy, I think I'm going to have to go over a little bit. Let me let him go. Go ahead, Mr. Pizza Man. So it just seems like, we just, without their consent, this is something that I would suggest that folks start searching for themselves and making new decisions. Might be time for some new decisions in that area. Tradition does not have to continue as such if it's serving no purpose. It serves no medical purpose. To leave it intact is what it's called. Someone who would leave it intact is going to have a more sensitive um, experience. You're damaging the nerves. You are severing a natural circulation process. You are short circuiting the whole process, the whole